Hi, I'm George Woodbury from College of the Sequoias in Visalia, California, and in this video we're going to go over how to find the equation of a line that passes through two given points. Now, I'm going to solve this first one. I have two examples, but I'm going to solve this first one in a couple of different ways. I'm going to use both the point-slope form twice, and I'm going to use the slope-intercept form. You really only need to be able to pick one of these, and so I'll let you know my feelings about which one I think is the most efficient one to use, and then I'll do the second example in this video the same way. No matter which route you go, the first thing that we need to do is we need to figure out the slope of the line. And so we're going to use the slope formula, m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And here, the 2 points are 1, 5, that's my value for x1, y1, and 3, 11, that's x sub 2, y sub 2. So I'm going to find the slope first. M equals the second y coordinate, 11, minus the first y coordinate, 5, over the second x coordinate, 3, minus the first x coordinate, 1. Subtract in the numerator and denominator, we get 6 over 2. And that simplifies to be 3. So the slope is 3, and I needed that first. Now I'm going to use the point slope form, and I already know that my slope is 3, and I can use either point here, and so I'm going to actually do it twice. I'm going to show you that it's the same no matter which way you do it. So the point slope form again is y minus y sub 1, your value of y, equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1, your value of x. And I'm going to use 1, 5 first. So I'm going to use the point 1, 5. Y minus 5 equals our slope 3, which we just found, times x minus 1. I'm going to isolate y. I'm going to get into slope-intercept form. Distribute the 3. Y minus 5 equals 3x minus 3, and finish by adding 5 to both sides. Y equals 3x plus 2. So that's the equation of the line that goes through these 2 points, and you can verify it by substituting the values of x in, and notice that you when you do the calculations, you get that value of y. So for 1, 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2, that's 5, that's correct. For the other point, 3, 11, when we put in 3 for x, 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. So that does satisfy those 2 points. I'm going to do it a second time with the same form, but this time I'm going to use 3, 11. Copy down that form again. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Y minus 11 this time equals 3 times x minus 3. Distribute the 3. Y minus 11 equals 3x minus 9. Add 11 to both sides. Y equals 3x plus 2. So I got the same answer either way. The moral of the story here is if you're going to use point-slope form, pick the point that you think is easier to work with. So here, I think that 1, 5 is easier to work with. The numbers are smaller than 3, 11. If you have a point that has fractional coordinates, it may be easier to use the one that has integer coordinates. You can pick either one and rest assured that you'll get the same answer. Now, the method that I prefer is slope-intercept form right away. And that's y equals mx plus b. And the same thing holds true here. I can use either point. And so I'm going to do both. I'm going to start with 1, 5. So I put in the 5 for y, 3 for m, which we found at the beginning, 1, which was our value of x, plus b. 3 times 1 is 3, so if I subtract 3 from both sides, I find that b is equal to 2. And my equation is y equals 3x plus 2, putting in my slope, 3, and my y-intercept coordinate, 2. If I do the other point, 3, 11, I'm going to get the same result. 11 goes in for y, 3 for the slope, 3 for x plus b, 3 times 3 is 9, so I can subtract 9 to solve for b. b is 2. And so again, I get y equals 3x plus 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times, I got the same solution. So it doesn't matter which strategy you use, whether you use point-slope formula or slope-intercept formula, and which point you use, 1, 5, or 3, 11, you get the same result. Personally, again, I like the slope-intercept form. I just think it's easier to work with. But if you find the other one works better for you, do that. You do you. The other problem, now we've got some negative coordinates, so we have to be a little careful here. This time we're going through -2, 6, and -5, -13. I'm going to label those for the slope formula, x1, y1, x2, y2. And here, again, it doesn't matter which form of the line you're going to use, you still have to find the slope first. The slope, again, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's the second y coordinate, -13, minus the first one, which is 6, over -5 for the second x minus -2. That turns into, oops, I don't know why I've written y there. M equals -19 over -5 plus 2. M equals -19 over -3. That doesn't simplify, but we do know that it will divide to be a positive number. So I'm going to use 19/3. Next step is I'm going to use slope-intercept form, and I guess I'm going to use the first point. There's only one negative number there. That's a little better. The numbers are a little smaller as well. So I'm going to use y equals mx plus b with the slope we just found and the point -2, 6. Oops, sorry about that. Put in your value for y, 6, your slope for m, 19/3, your value of x, which is -2, plus b. And I can see on the right-hand side that those fractions are not going to, the denominators are not going to disappear. So I can just multiply it out. 6 equals -38 over 3 plus b. Now I can add 38/3 to the right-hand side and be done with it. But I'm going to use the same approach we used back in the first chapter of clearing the fractions. And I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 3 to clear the fraction. So now I have 18 equals -38 plus 3b. Add the 38 to both sides. 56 equals 3b. And divide through by 3. So 56/3 equals b. The slope was 19/3. The y-coordinate of the y-intercept was 56/3. I can write the equation y equals mx plus b, 19/3 x plus 56/3. And that is the equation of the line that goes through those 2 points. You can check your work by substituting -5 for x and -13 for y. Make sure that it works for the other point. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to do a quick check here. And I'm going to do it in a different color. So I'm going to check using -5 for x and -13 for y. So -13 equals 19/3 times -5 plus 56 over 3. -19 times 5 is -95. So -13 equals -95 over 3 plus 56 over 3. They have a common denominator on that right-hand side, so I combine the numerators, keep the denominator. Negative 95 plus 56 is negative 39, and negative 39 divided by 3 is negative 13, so that equation does work for the other point as well. Okay, hope that was helpful. Either way, when you're given 2 points, remember that you've got to begin by finding the slope first, and then you can use either the slope-intercept form, or you can use the point-slope form. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. All right, that is it for this video. In the next video, we'll talk about the properties of horizontal and vertical lines.